This reminds me of college. This flavor.
Oh, this is what
I don't know why.
Boston Ale?
Yeah.
Not Boston Lager?
Yeah,
Boston
that
Lager.
threw me off too a little bit.
It's like sweeter and like syrupier, like thicker.
It's not as
JJ
hoppy
doesn't
as
like
that
it?
Boston Lager.
It's hit me weird in the back of the throat.
Oh, goodness.
This is the Darkside Records and Gallery podcast.
When I was in college, we used to drink Honey Browns. Dundee's Honey Brown. That was
man.
like
I can't
our...
find those anymore.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I was a fan of those when I was in the military. I used to drink a lot of those. A lot of people like the Honey Brown.
I assumed that it like was just a company that like went belly up or something.
Possibly.
and-
Someone probably bought them.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was like
Anheuser-Busch.
there was like a resurgence maybe like 3 years ago or something. I remember like seeing them in stores again and I was like, fuck yeah. And then they were just gone. Like it was like a test market and it failed again. They were like,
Yeah. Maybe people aren't feeling the Honey Brown.
fuck it. Dude, I loved Honey Browns, man.
I did too. A lot of people did, but I guess not as many as we think.
I assumed it was like a regional thing. Like it
Yeah.
was like I felt like I only drank it in Poughkeepsie. Didn't drink it anywhere else.
I don't know. I saw it because, like I said, I got introduced to it when I was in the service. So, I saw it around different parts of the country in the South too. So.
All right.
But maybe they probably just, how many beer companies came about in the last like 10 years,
Oh my God.
The competition is just ridiculous. So who the fuck knows what happened to them?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm liking this one though. It's not bad.
Yeah.
JJ's not interested though.
It's okay. I mean, it was the only one sip that I had. So.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where it's an
all you need.
slowly acquired taste in a little bit, The first one, you're like, nah. Second one.
There's something sort of Coors Light about it.
Is that like a quality thing? It's not like...
No, it's got like that sort of really basic American beer sort of flavor to
Yeah,
it.
it's definitely not as complex as the lager.
No, I really like the lager.
Me too.
Especially on draft.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like also it's really popular like to have like sweeter beers, like really sugary beers.
Now?
I guess
Or in general.
in general,
yeah.
especially like in what I assume because I'm stereotyping the United States. We fucking love sugar. So.
Oh, the beer's totally different from here, in other parts of the world. We're good or for bad,
Yeah. We had a coworker who she just moved to the UK, moved to England.
Oh, cool.
So that's why she's now drinking shitty like fish scale beer that's at room temperature. Ugh. With Will. That guy.
Poor woman. Feel bad for her.
Well, she doesn't drink beer, so I guess in the end,
In the end, she went. It's okay.
she kind of breaks even.
Yeah,
Really.
exactly.
What a crazy day today, man.
Yeah.
What a crazy day.
Right. Oh, my goodness.
I think we had a Nazi in the store. I can't really tell.
Yeah, you're
It's
talking
strange.
about that before.
Yeah. What a weird day today.
Were you here for that?
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
That's
The mark
problem.
was there, but we don't really know what was happening.
Because I heard
with
it was
that.
a little ambiguous, but
That was the thing. Yeah, he had a tattoo, and the tattoo had a swastika on it, but it was kind of a 50-50 tattoo. I wasn't.
I mean,
like
the swastika was the smallest part of the tattoo.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to
well,
say that was like
that's a plus.
a 4 to 5 inch tattoo. Let's say.
That's a check in favor for him, I guess. When it comes to having swastika tattoos, it was
Right.
the smallest part of the whole tattoo.
welcome to Nazi court, where we vote on how Nazi you are based on your tattoos.
It's like it's one of those things. No dichotomy. It's either you are or you're not.
Yep.
So I guess if you got the balls to put one of those on you, regardless of the size, it's probably you are a Nazi.
Well, no. See, you raise a good point though. It's like it's a ballsy move either way.
Yes.
Because it's a very confrontational symbol. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like, so if
Absolutely.
you do it because you're like, fuck Nazis, that takes balls.
Yeah.
But if you do it because you're a Nazi, it also takes balls. Like
it's going to be controversial either
Right.
way and attract attention.
yeah, like because if you're not a Nazi, you're gonna get in a fist
Did
fight.
other
and if
people
you-
in the store recognize or like see it? Could you tell at all?
Just he noticed it, and then it became a thing. Like if he didn't notice it, I don't really think it's all that noticeable. I really had to look for it because I missed it the first like 4 times I tried to see it.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I would react to it.
Yeah, it's a weird call. My gut instinct was to like be super aggressive about it and like just call it out. But
Well, you're at work too, so I understand.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah.
complexities and nuances going on. You can't.
yeah,
But obviously, the immediate reaction is to get the fuck out, or.
my immediate reaction is
Let's
just
cut
like to
that.
be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like
right.
to call it out.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's a tough call in a job space.
Yeah, it's certainly something. I haven't seen around here, at least not in my experiences. There's probably definitely more than that dude with a swastika tattoo, but not in my experiences in the Hudson Valley.
A lot of Confederate flags.
Oh yeah, like
but
I was
not so
saying.
much straight swastika.
straight
yeah.
to that leap.
Oh,
I'm sure
gross.
some of those dudes with Confederate flags got some swastikas too.
Sure,
They're just,
sure.
Yeah, they're just not as blatant.
Yeah, exactly. Not just showing it off while you're shopping for
While you're shopping for your
for Sade
new-
CDs.
yeah.
It
Your
also
new
makes
Queens.
it complicated.
Yeah.
What is going on there?
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
And that dude's definitely been here before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've engaged him in multiple conversations.
Oh no!
This is the first time you picked up on it.
I know. Now I feel worse.
It didn't look like a new tattoo though. It wasn't like
no,
it was
no.
recent.
Yeah, it was definitely. He definitely
It
had
looked
a
faded.
new. He had a new tattoo that was like somewhere else on his arm that I noticed, and this one was definitely exactly an older tattoo.
That's funny. It makes me think of this documentary I saw where this guy had a bunch of wicked Nazi stuff all over his face, and he went over a whole, laser surgery thing to get it removed. It was paid for by an anti-hate group, and it was actually really moving, because it changed his whole life and stuff, and it was cool. But that's something maybe that guy should look into, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, I think it wouldn't be very difficult to cover up. It was pretty small.
It was
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
It easily could have been a hairy freckle or something.
Yeah.
It was that small.
This dude that I saw was next level, so if they felt
like
him.
on the forehead, yeah.
And there is no retail space unavailable for Nazi-ness on his face.
Oh, he's one of those.
Oh yeah, he took it to the max. So if they can help him, they can change this guy's life.
When I lived in New Paltz a couple years ago, there was like a group of like crust punks who all, I guess, lived on the mountain. And they all had tattoos all over their faces. But there was this one dude that I remember specifically. He had the Batman symbol tattooed on his face, but it was like around his eyes. So it was kind of like a mask, you know?
Yes.
So what, like the hooks went up over his forehead and down onto his cheek and then across his nose, and his eyes were like in the middle. So it was just a giant Batman thing. That's dedicated
Yeah.
to Batman, man.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it did look pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It looked pretty sweet.
Were the lines clean and shading even? Makes a difference.
You know, they were crust punk tattoos, so I assume they're all like stick and pokes. You know?
Oh God, that's a lot to stick and poke. Your whole Batman mask on your face.
Yeah. No, like not filled in. Like it was just
just
the
the
outline.
lines?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That is some
pictured it
next
as filled in too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's some next level shit.
Yeah, right. That's what I was picturing.
Wow. Yeah, he wasn't that dedicated to Batman.
Well, have you seen him since? Maybe
I haven't. It's been a couple of years. I mean,
he might have stuck and poke all those spaces in by now.
yeah, has anyone done that? Does that exist on the internet? I feel like that
What?
should have been done already. Like the superhero mask tattoo on the face.
I'm
it has
sure
to
there-
exist.
You know,
yeah,
like
I'm
people
sure.
get the glasses tattooed on their face, all kinds of dumb shit. So,
Glasses.
yeah, you've never seen that? Like where guys
Yeah,
get
I
like,
saw a
I've seen
guy.
guys who get like tattooed around their eyes the shape of glasses, so
Yeah,
it looks
it's like
like
a
they're wearing
black
glasses.
frame or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, they're stupid. Don't.
It sounds horribly
Obviously.
stupid.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
stupid.
the
Yeah, it's
worst.
not. Ugh.
Is that on the par of Nazi tattoo, or like which would you rather
it's
have?
worse and such a-
swastika or glasses tattooed to your face. Which one?
Those are my two choices?
Yeah,
Oh, sunglasses. I'm going sunglasses all the way.
good choice.
Yeah, I'm just going to own it. Fucking, you can put makeup on sunglasses. But
Oh,
you
you
gotta
can't
get
put makeup on sunglasses.
if you go with a tortoise shell ink, possibly not black.
look, tattoo sunglasses, not real sunglasses.
If you're tattooing those glasses on your face,
Yeah,
maybe.
he's got the clear. He's got a tattoo color, so you can't cheap out like that.
You got to commit to it?
Yeah, you got to commit to an actual color,
Oh, God.
not an outline like Batman guy.
So hey everybody, welcome to the Darkside Records podcast. This is a monthly podcast brought to you by the good folks at Darkside Records, located at 611 Dutchess Turnpike in Poughkeepsie, New York. Darksiderecords.com. This is a podcast that is dedicated to music, vinyl, the music industry, let's say beers. Beards and beers. Both. Adorable puppies.
We gotta throw cats in there too.
Oh, I see you're wearing a cat shirt.
I'm wearing a cat shirt, so can't exclude them now. I found a cat today, actually. Yes.
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, actually, my employees found the cat.
What happened with that?
Well, she's just napping at home right now. I got her tucked away in her own little area so the other cats won't annoy her and stuff. And, she's doing her thing until I find her, get her to the vet, get her home and all set up, But, yeah, she was just, running around the KFC parking lot. And they jumped out. I happened to be walking outside. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, he's trying to get that cat. And then, I was like, I'll figure it out from here. But we have a bunch of friends that reached out, said that they're interested, we'll help her, wanted to give her a home. So, I'm optimistic for her future.
Yeah. I guess by the time this airs, if you haven't found a host for this cat, listeners, you can hit up our special guest for this month's episode.
Yes, my name's TJ. We can get my information once this airs, if this cat hasn't found a home yet. But
I just learned you're a crazy cat lady. Just now. This is all unfolding.
Now? Oh, my goodness. Most people, it's pretty obvious. This is one of a dozen cat shirts I have. I'm not even shitting you. It's kind of weird. None of them I purchased myself. They're given to me as gifts. That's how well my friends know me.
That's actually how you know you've achieved cat status.
Yeah.
Because the same employee who is now drinking warm cider, she also only ever gets cat gifts because she's a crazy cat person.
But that's
I think her boyfriend's parents bought her a cat umbrella or something.
Oh, shit.
For, the first Christmas they were together or something like that.
Did she have cats when she was living here?
No. I mean, I think they had cats at her parents' house, but she couldn't have a cat in her nasty Maris department.
Right. So she likes the concept of cats.
Yeah, it hasn't fully
more than
the
actual taking care of
Look at her
it.
Snapchat today, actually. It was her stalking a cat that clearly lives in a house across the street from her.
Hey, maybe she'll be interested
zooming
in
into someone else's windows.
Oh, wow. Okay, I don't take it that far.
You're going to have to ship that cat to the UK,
London.
just so you know. Yeah. That's way more invested than I would be.
Yeah. Hopefully I can find her home around here before I go that far.
Yeah. Let's start there. Yeah. But Becca, if you're interested, it's on the table. We're just saying. So this episode, happy October. We snoozed on a September episode.
No, you did one.
We did one?
You and Berto.
That was September? I think that was August.
No, that was... Did we?
I think if we have to ask, I think that's a bad sign.
It was the end of August, at the very least.
That counts.
Because it was while I was gone, and I was gone at the very end of August.
The last episode we posted, episode 29, the Darkside Takeover. August 29th was our last episode.
What was the one before that? Early August? Because then you pretty much got
June
September.
14th. Wow, we missed July. We are. Yeah.
You've
summer.
been Mr. Jet Setter.
That's
really,
true.
it's kind of on you.
Okay. I'll own up to that. I was in Arizona for 2 weeks in September.
Nice.
Had a great time. Camped in the desert.
Oh, righteous.
Caught a cold.
Ugh.
Went to the Grand Canyon. It was a lot of fun. I love, Jenny and I, we, every year we take at least a week and we try to go camping somewhere. We just try to go some part of the country we've never been to before. And we were talking about how I'd never been to the Grand Canyon before. And so she's like, want to go to the Grand Canyon? So we did. We camped at the Grand Canyon. We camped at Monument Valley, drove through Sedona, went through a Navajo reservation, went up into Utah, went into Colorado, went into New Mexico. The only state I did not like was New Mexico. So anyway, so sorry we didn't do a podcast last month.
Man, this is all catch up.
But we got a special treat for you this month, dear listeners. We have with us a special guest. It's 20 minutes in already. Who cares?
Yeah.
TJ.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, man.
Hey.
TJ is from Queen City Tapes.
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. I mean, really, I guess the pretense for this whole thing is that coming up later this week on October 14th
A week from today.
Saturday,
Right?
October 14th.
is the weird stepbrother
Of Record Store Day.
of Record Store Day.
I'm going to go with like uncle who
Right.
never moved out of his parents' basement.
I don't know if there's any blood relation to Record, but it's here.
The weird sweaty uncle of Record Store Day, Cassette Store Day,
Yes.
is coming up this Saturday, October 14th.
Which I still love equally. I mean, even though it's a sweaty uncle, I mean, come on.
you just you do the hug where it's butt out, and you just like
No actual touching.
Yeah, you put a little distance. You're like, oh, okay, thanks.
Hey, but they're family. Come on.
That's it.
Yeah.
But they're family.
That's not enough for me.
I know, honestly, me too.
I'm going to pick a bone with Cassette Store Day.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I get the idea, but I think it's a bit of a misnomer because it's not.
I agree in that respect, yeah.
Because it's not, outside of, let's say, Brooklyn and maybe L.A. and someplace in London that I don't know anything about. Becca, please investigate. Where is there specifically a cassette store?
Yeah, right. I was thinking that too.
And also, it's not Record Day. It's Record Store Day.
Yeah, I think we touched on this last year when we did a podcast about this. Yeah, and the focus or the issue being the focus away from the stores themselves to the medium itself.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know what you guys think. Is that, like, from your experience, the Record Store Day is traditionally, like, supposed to be, like, about the stores, about the artist, or some combination? Like,
It's about the stores.
Yeah, that kind
sure.
of makes the most sense, though.
Because it
of
was,
the outlet
this past year was the 10th anniversary of Record Store Day. And the idea 10 years ago, before we were even around, was that, record stores were hurting. Indie stores were closing all over the country. And, iTunes was king. To some extent, like things like Napster and shit like that were still around. And nobody had really found the equilibrium of the stealing of music yet and the actual physical sales of music. And so some people just kind of put their heads together and said, there's Comic Book Day, which I think has been around a lot longer. And said, why can't we do a similar thing? And they just sort of approached the labels and were like, hey, can we do a thing? And the labels were like, sure. And it just really kind of bloomed into a huge fucking thing.
Yeah, wow.
Not to say that Cassette Store Day couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I just think it's slower going.
It's how many years they've been doing that now? Because until he reached out to me about the thing, I've never heard of it before. Ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
I had no idea.
I didn't know
And
that.
you're like, yeah, you probably have heard. I'm like, nope, but now I'm involved.
Oh,
yeah.
well, so
I want to
TJ,
say this is like year 4, maybe.
Okay.
yeah, I was going to say 3 or 4, but so that's interesting because the reason that you're on the podcast this week is because, and you obviously correct me here, but you run a cassette-only label.
Yeah, well, at this point, cassette only, but I do have a 7-inch coming out soon. It's been in,
Ooh.
yeah. It's just taking forever to come from the presses. That will be Our Ghosts. They're a solo project of a friend of mine who lives out in Massachusetts, who actually duplicates a lot of my pressings too. He kind of, because he had his own label out there as well, and then he kind of switched from running a label to kind of doing just the duplication process, and now he's kind of getting out of that too. So for the past year or so, we've been working together, and I've used other things too. But yeah, I mean,
Did you start out with the plan of just doing cassettes, or did you just?
Yeah, because the economics of it just made the most sense. Like. Ideally, I would love to have been like pressing records and stuff, but obviously, you guys know it's a lot of money, a lot of time, all that kind of stuff. So that's why the cassette medium has become so popular, So when I was approached with by my co-founder Jeff Podgy with making a little label for the local acts around here and the music that we enjoyed, I just jumped on immediately because we're both musicians and have wanted to do something like that for a long time, to provide an outlet for the music that we enjoy in our area that that isn't accessible, and want to provide a tangible piece for those artists to have their music and to also sell it to their fans. And so it just started from there with that idea. And now we're almost like a year later, and it's just kind of caught on a lot of steam. And I got a lot of bands working with us and stuff, and it's really exciting and really cool. I really didn't think anything would come of it, honestly.
Yeah.
So
cool. And what have you put out so far? Like, what's a couple cool releases that you guys have put together?
Well, you guys know that we have the first two releases, that the compilation, which I only have like a few tapes left. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much all sold out, and I'm thinking about giving those in like a giveaway package sort of thing, so they're not available for sale. So between that one and the Lies of the Obscure, our sources say, or my sources say, those are the ones we put out this year. Mm-hmm. And pretty much in between those releases, when we did the showcase premiere in April, and now is just basically putting all the other ones in production. So I have the Sachem demo available next week, Mr. Blonde and Surmiser split available next week, a full length by Surmiser hopefully next week, if not the week after, very soon, because so many things have gotten, lost in the translation,
Sure.
between the duplication things and this and that. So they're coming soon. We got Argos, like I said, a 7-inch. So we're branching into the vinyl territory, mm-hmm. which we split with. The only reason we were able to do that because we split it with like 3 or 4 other labels, including Jim, my friend's label. So we have also Womb of Nations, a full length coming out. Probably is going to be in another 2 months. Making Matters Worse has an EP, probably going to be in another couple months. The Free Jays probably be another couple months. I have to catch up now with those. I was trying to get this release of like Sachem and Surmiser out for Cassette Store Day, and now it's time to, that's where I'm at right now. And we're coming up in the year, and I'll have those releases hopefully done by the end of the year and start fresh with a whole new, 2018 moving forward. I want to do another comp. And I was thinking like a compilation of the local artists, like doing covers of other bands or other songs. Like mm-hmm. Jay Anderson from Surmiser mm-hmm. actually gave like throughout this idea. And him and I have been working together a lot too, with his studio and stuff, trying to put bands towards the label and get music out there, because in a lot of ways it's more of a collective than it is anything else. It only works because all the artists want to be involved, and then your guys' store too, and it brings the community together. So there's like no singular component of all these things. There's so many moving parts, and that's what makes it fun. And at the same time, I'm pulling my hair out of my head trying to keep it all together.
Yeah. Do you look for bands to sign? Is it like a thing where you're kind of like trying to scope out some new blood to kind of expose people? Mm-hmm. Maybe I should phrase that differently, but
dude, I'm always looking. I mean, always going to local shows or listening to my, if people say that I meet people and say, got a band, I'm like, hey, send me a link. I want to check it out. And that's pretty much where, I find any of the music the same way anyone else does. And this year was about building a discography,
Sure.
And the bands that I really like, and now it's kind of at the point where now I want to focus on putting out their specific music, the kind of bands that I've recruited under this umbrella label, while still looking for, artists that are original and have something to offer to our new and burgeoning scene, for sure.
Sure. And so you did not know about Cassette Store Day?
Absolutely not. No.
Oh, dude, that's so funny, man.
I know. I had no idea.
Because I remember talking with you about it, and I had honestly, I had just only assumed because you guys have been putting out tapes that you guys were aware, and that's why when it was coming up, I said, hey, we should do a thing for Cassette Store Day.
I know. When I read the email, you assumed that I already had picked up the ball on that, but I was like, no, but I absolutely want to be interested, and it makes sense. I mean, when you have Record Store Day, Cassette Store Day, also, I mean, in turn, it is another medium that record stores would usually carry. I mean,
And
is there also a CD store day, or are CDs definitely not ever
We can make
cool?
it happen now. Let's get in on this thing. Ground level, baby.
Yeah, we're starting from scratch.
Exactly.
There we go. Get them all going.
We should do 8-track.
8-track
yeah,
day. Do
we
you guys
go.
have any in the store?
Yeah, we have a bunch.
No shit. Sweet. Do you have a player?
We don't have a player.
Oh, I'll have to find one. Maybe get a couple 8-track.
There you go.
Note to customers, we can't verify they work. You're buying them as is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny.
So you have 2 releases coming out for Cassette Store Day.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Cool.
So
So-
we have the Sachem demo and the split by Surmiser and Mr. Blonde, and I possibly the full length by Surmiser. But like I said, there's been some complications with the duplication process. But fingers crossed, by next Saturday everything's here. You know.
Sure. Will you at least, like, you were actually on the list? Like, you were officially associated with Cassette Store Day?
Yep.
What was that like, getting involved with those guys?
Oh, super easy. Basically, they had the website, right?
Yeah.
And then you just filled it out and you paid a PayPal, and that was it. You know, there was like a
You had
little.
to pay to be a part of it?
Yeah, it was like a $10 like processing fee, but it wasn't per entry. It was just
Total.
in general, which I kind of wish I would have knew beforehand, because then I would have had. I mean, it would have been tough, but I would have tried to put a little bit more pressure on getting more stuff out. But I figured 2 was fine. You know.
You don't want to overwhelm
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
Especially, like, the list goes out internationally. So, I think most things on the Cassette Store Day list are relatively unknown.
Yeah.
Because it's always this time of year when we get a lot of emails for being a participating store from people all over the world that said, hey, we see you're participating in Cassette Store Day. Do you want to bring in our cassette? And we have to go like, well...
You know, shit, I should have done something like that, because I haven't asked a single person, but this Tapehead City sent us an email. I guess they had our...
You're on the spreadsheet.
On the
Yeah,
spreadsheet,
yeah.
right? So they asked for, you send 2 of each of your releases and we credit you whatever, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, fuck it. I'll send 2 to, of each one to them. At least, there's 2 of those to another place where I don't know anybody, and they don't know my label and stuff. And they don't know these artists. So, that's, I guess, a start, but... I guess I wasn't thinking the way I should have just harassed a bunch of, stores to hold out my shit.
You could do that, and lots of people do that.
But yeah, I
don't know if I absolutely recommend it.
did you actually? Did that work for anybody?
Well,
Sort of.
Yeah.
It depends on their approach. Like, some people just want it to be there, and so they'll be like, "Hey, we're gonna send you this. If it sells, great, pay us. If it doesn't, no big deal. Send it back or whatever."
Yeah.
So those are the ones who are like, yeah, sure, because there's no risk on our part, and we're happy to support. But at the same time, you are shelling out real money for things that may literally never sell. So, in fact, I just got an email a little during this podcast.
I mean, you got my gear spinning, and I'm like, shit. Because I the funny thing is, like, I've maybe tried something like this before, not to record stores, but it's like blogs, and no one ever responds to my email. So maybe I'm just discouraged.
I think for the most part, if you blanket emailed, you would get few responses. But if you got a couple,
that's
a couple you didn't have before.
I just need to up that bar, just like really
Right.
spam the shit out of fucking every store or possible distributor I can find.
yeah. Well, and I was even curious about how that worked specifically for Cassette Store Day, and especially for, like, indie labels and much smaller cassette labels, like how people go about actually stocking their things, like, physically on shelves. And I guess really it just sort of comes down to just reach out to each other.
Now you're really jogging my memory, and remember that there was a part of this little list where it says you put so many of those tapes towards the thing or whatever, like if people want them or whatever. But I don't know. If 25 people want a Sachem tape, that'd be amazing. I don't know if that's going to happen, But like you said, it's international, so who knows? There might be some stoner doom metal fans out there. I hope. That's what I'm
definitely
fucking.
out there.
That's what I'm fucking hoping.
And they listen to a lot of them listen to cassettes. Let's be real.
So who knows?
Or just want like a cool cassette piece, even if they never fucking listen to it.
It is a cool cassette piece. I will give them that. And we're. I mean, they're only $5. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's support local music. Support music in general. It doesn't have to be local.
Indeed.
Just not shit music. Unless that's your thing.
And the opposite end of the spectrum, this year was the first year that I feel like I really noticed bigger artists being involved. Last year, no insult intended, but I can't recall like a big name off the top of my head.
There were some.
I saw maybe Frank Black or Pixies did.
There was Pixies cassettes.
I think when they released their new album, they had a cassette out. Because I was looking at prior years too, out of curiosity.
Okay.
There's always a good handful of metal titles that have come out.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
I feel like there was something fairly like major artist significant last year, but I just can't put my tongue on it. Is that how you say that?
That's not how cassettes work.
Okay. Don't do that to your kids.
No, I saw there's a couple. American football is at the top there.
Yeah, well, this year, exactly. A couple of ones that are significant that I noticed.
on there.
American Football is putting out their self-titled EP. Beach Slang is putting out a cassette, We Were Babies and We Were Dirtbags. Pentagram.
There's a lot on there.
They have 1, 2 that I've highlighted.
Yeah, I thought there's a couple more. Keep on.
3.
Yeah.
They go 4
Told
Pentagram
you.
releases.
Only highlighted 2. Note that.
The Slackers, the Toasters, 2, I would say, pretty quintessential ska bands are on it.
The guy from the Slackers was just in here the other day.
Last
Sunday.
Space Jam is coming out.
Oh, like a soundtrack?
I think it's the band.
Okay.
Unrelated. I just wanted to build some hype there. Just get everybody excited.
You got me excited.
I know. Dance Gavin Dance is putting out Mothership. Rise Records was one of the labels that I noticed was putting out a bunch more for Cassette Store this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you pronounce it Paris or Paris.
They say Paris, but it's
say
got
Paris?
the V in it. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I defer to Becca for these things. Paris is putting out White Noise, also on Rise Records. Paradise Lost, who is a great metal band. Tiamat, another metal band. And then maybe what was the most surprising, to me anyway, the White Stripes.
Yeah, 2 different albums.
Mm-hmm. 3.
3?
3?
Three.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was 2.
3 White Stripes cassettes coming out for Cassette Store Day. Self-titled, White Blood Cells, and Distill.
Distill. Yeah, and those are all pretty limited. I think there's only going to be 500 of each of them, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to pick up one of each.
I could totally see this being a thing that Jack White would
Yeah.
get in on.
I think it's
right.
I think it's bigger than even just that. It's I go to these music business conferences and stuff, and this year more than any previous year, there was a discussion and multiple meetings about cassettes, and we're talking about like Sony and Warner Brothers and this like talking about putting out cassettes and like what's the right thing to put on cassette, and so they notice, and I think it shows in the list because there's definitely more major artists this year than previous years, although certain labels have always been behind this, like I said before, specifically the metal titles. They've been there since the beginning of Cassette Store Day.
That's
And,
badass.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I'm looking at this list here, and I have 4 printed pages of titles. There's a couple like DJ compilations that are coming out. That's for you, DJ Pearly.
Or DJ Scully, either way.
There's a couple comps that are coming out. Punknews.org is putting out a comp called The Bullshit Collector with Crazy in the Brains, The Posers, Rats on the Wall, Drones, and my favorite band name on this list, Dead Fucking Last.
Can read either way.
Yeah, let me peek this.
Dead Fucking Last or Dead Fucking Last. Depends on where you put the emphasis.
Dead Fucking Last. I don't like that one at all. I like the first 2 way better. So there's some decent titles that are coming out this Saturday.
This isn't cohesive with the rest of the flow right now, but your label is Queen City Tapes.
Yes, sir.
I've wondered for a couple of years now, why is Poughkeepsie called the Queen City?
Does anybody know? Do you know?
No, I don't know. I was asking you. I see it called the Queen City, but I don't know why.
I think I saw that on Wikipedia, and I'm like, I trust it, so I'm just going with it. I don't know the reason why. I guess at one time it was a Poughkeepsie was a nice place. The place for queens and royalty.
I was going to say, it was the drag queen population. It was really high. There was like a big period, and the shows were amazing.
Oh, let's bring that back. That's what I'm trying to do.
Seriously.
Yes. Queen City tapes all
historically, though, it doesn't really make sense because what was here? There was well known for brick making, ammunition and weapons manufacturing right along the river because it was easy to ship down to the city to get it out.
There was a correlation.
What is the correlation? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I just think maybe it was really nice. I think Queen nice. But I don't know if it's definitely not right. Absolutely not.
Freddie Mercury wasn't born here.
So. I wish.
So the joke right out of my mouth. Yeah.
I wish that were the case. But yeah, when it came to name the label, I mean, that was a pretty easy way to go. We were bullshitting back and forth, and then I just threw that out there, Queen City plus tapes. And it was so easy. It was just like, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, that's where we're from. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
Yeah, you couldn't have gone with the Poughkeepsie tapes.
That would have. That might have helped the Google hits though, because that shit.
That's true.
Shit, I fucked up. But all right, we're now Poughkeepsie tapes, not Queen City. No, I'm just kidding.
They got way better lawyers.
Yeah, it'll crush me.
Yeah.
I represent myself. I go pro bono.
Mm-hmm. They got Lionsgate behind them. It's
you don't
want to fuck with
Wait,
that.
aren't they? Is that movie coming out? Legitimately, is that out or
I don't know. I've heard so many things.
I'm not going to see it anyway, but
yeah,
I'm not going to watch it.
I couldn't even tell you, to be perfectly honest.
Fuck it, the name's mine then. Hold on, let me take this. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Go. You know what we should start doing?
What?
We should do a 30 break where we do some ad space, and we can do ads for our own things until somebody actually wants to buy the ad space.
Okay, sure. No one's ever going to buy the ad space.
That's okay. That's okay. Here's the first one. You ready? Vinyl lovers, have you been looking for a great way to get into vinyl? Come down to Darkside Records, 611 Dutchess Turnpike in Poughkeepsie. We got just the thing for you. The Vinyl Starter Kit. It includes an Audio-Technica LP60 turntable, your choice of one of two sets of Kanto bookshelf powered speakers. You don't need anything. You don't need a receiver. It comes all included. It is plug and play. You straight up plug your turntable into your speakers, plug them into your power outlet, throw a record on, and that is it. We have two different starter kits. Regular starter kit starts at $300. A Bluetooth one starts at $400. All
It's the longest ad ever.
systems included.
Systems.
Take it home today and step up your home audio game with the Darkside Records Vinyl Starter Kit. Pretty good?
Just way too long-winded.
Okay.
There was no catchy hook in there.
Well, in theory, if we got an advertiser, they would send us a script,
copy.
and we'd read it. And most people use Squarespace. I feel like that's very popular.
We could just start doing those like we're being sponsored.
And then we send them an invoice.
This episode of the Darkside Podcast brought to you by Stamps.com. If you're agoraphobic but still have packages to send, Stamps.com. Save on postage, save on personal fear. Mm-hmm. Get your shit out of here with Stamps.com.
And we're back.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen, for being so patient. Yes.
So, so Cassette Store Day is coming up this Saturday, the 14th. And then just a little over a month after that is Black Friday. Record Store Day, back to Black Friday.
Cue Twin Peaks theme.
Well, Black Friday, Record Store Day is every year in April, and they also do a second one. I guess this would be like the stepbrother.
This is the zygote of Record Store Day.
Basically, it's the same idea, exclusive titles, exclusive only to indie stores, and it takes place on Black Friday. So
get your shit out of the mall and get into a local store.
Yeah, you get to shop small, you get to support your community, support a small business.
All things I'm about.
You're gonna have to apply to them, see if you can get something on there too.
Hell yeah.
Submissions for this are already well past.
Nah, buttholes.
Are they?
Yeah, they're already, the window for Record Store Day 2018 titles is closing soon.
Wow, holy shit!
Maybe I can get that 7-inch.
It's huge logistics.
I guess
imagine.
Can you
April.
imagine?
Yeah.
Over around 500 releases come out in April every year, and they all have to be, approved, submitted, mastered, pressed. Like, it's a huge undertaking. And just because it's on the list probably means there's twice as many that didn't make the list. There's actually a committee that selects what ends up on the list.
Oh, no shit. Maybe Cassette Store debut at that point one day.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think Cassette Store Day started in the UK.
Burger Records, if I'm
that
not
where they're
mistaken.
from?
Yeah, they're the people who have like spearheaded it.
Yeah.
But I guess Record Store Day was started by Bull Moose, correct?
Bull Moose was a part of it. A couple of Sim stores, which is where a member of were a part of it. It was like a collective from stores from the 3 different coalitions that all speak to one another, all put their heads together to do this.
What are you guys stocking up for? You guys got some releases that from this that you're going to pull from, or you're going to buy every single one?
We don't. Oh, for a Cassette Store Day?
Yeah,
Cassette Store Day. We'll have the major releases, and we'll have the Queen City Tapes releases.
Beautiful.
We'll have some releases from a label from Albany, Cacophone
That's correct.
Records.
Yep.
Cacophone? What they got?
They have a cassette coming out from the band The Erotics, which is a 20th anniversary kind of, I believe, a greatest hits compilation of songs from an Albany-based kind of, to my understanding, kind of a grimy goth punk band.
Sounds like Albany.
And yeah.
I'm in.
So you'll be able to get that here, and not just the releases, but so on Cassette Store Day, we're gonna do a Queen City Tapes live showcase. We're gonna have live music starting sometime in the late afternoon.
I think 5 is what what I said on the flyer.
We're going to be playing cassettes live.
Yeah, bring your boom boxes. We got plenty of cassettes to play.
So who do you have playing at Cassette Store Day?
Oh, well, we have 5 bands. We got the Free Jays, Mr. Blonde, Making Matters Worse, and Surmiser. So they're all bands that either we are have put something out of, or will be putting something out of in the near future. And yeah, if you haven't seen any of those guys before, all those bands are great. And it's a pretty eclectic show, too, you know? A little mixed pot. Which is what Queen City Tapes is.
All the bands will be here hanging out, so it'll be a great chance to pick up a cassette, support Cassette Store Day, support your local record store, support an indie band, and hey, meet them, talk to them a little bit, talk about music.
Oh, yeah.
Hear some songs performed live.
Oh, yeah, I know all these guys personally, and they're all really cool dudes with great music, you know?
Get your J card signed.
Yeah.
Liz, he's not in on the, look at this guy. Not in on the cassette lingo.
Yeah, the lingo.
Fucking noob.
That's so great.
A J card is the artwork
the
in a cassette.
You know, my
I
only
only know that because I'm fucking doing this.
my a frame of reference for that was a V card, which is when you're a virgin, and I thought you were making
trying
a
to
joke.
put
And I was
Nope.
like, hey,
That's when you're JV.
oh, university. Then.
First, you gotta get
yeah.
your P-Wings.
At a Mile High Club.
P-Wings at a Mountain High Club. Wow, that's ambitious.
Look, if you're gonna do something,
I guess an airplane bathroom is easily washable.
Oh yeah, totally. Airplane bathrooms still freak me out. The whole idea that like you push the button and it just literally opens a thing to the outside and just
No.
sucks that shit
what
out of there.
No, it goes to a tank.
I hope so.
Come on.
It goes to a tank.
No.
Yes. something
Blue
happens.
ice.
Yeah, that comes out sometimes.
Yeah,
but
blue ice. People die from being killed by blue ice. That
Some
might
way
be
to
an urban
go.
legend. I can't actually
That's some
verify
way to-
that. I don't have any stats on that
some way
whatsoever.
And let's talk about chemtrails while we're at it.
God, this is digressing into.
Yeah, welcome
Get
to-
back to music.
Welcome
Welcome
to
to
the
the
podcast.
Darkside Record Conspiracy Hour.
Yeah, right. We're gonna pull up Infowars in a second.
No.
By me and my shadow people around.
Brought to you by JB's Basement Toilets. If you need to be locked up in a basement for an extended period of time, we've got a toilet for you.
You better hope for a basement toilet.
It's basically a bucket with a hose. Camouflage.
And Squatty Potty.
Oh my God,
I
my
love-
girlfriend will not shut up about fucking Squatty.
Fucking love my Squatty Potty, man.
Oh, God.
You get in on Team Squatty Potty, man.
She would be loving it.
You
dude.
tell her.
Yeah, she's
If
got
she
the
wants a squat.
Look, I just learned so much about what her poop looks like in that 1 second.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't get it.
Right? I'm like,
Okay,
I've been
okay.
shitting the same for
Why do I need my
29
knees
years.
above my heart? It's like I'm not bleeding out.
Right? I'm like, I shit just fine. I don't understand.
I think you're using the Squatty Potty wrong if your knees are that high.
It just doesn't make sense.
I
Explain.
got the big
It
and tall
totally makes
version.
sense. What doesn't make sense? Okay.
I
so
mean, it makes sense, but I don't understand why I need it.
Okay, the idea
Why
is
do-
that your
why
knees
do I need it?
your knees should be a little bit higher. It straightens your back and gives you more of like a projected downward flow.
What am I, deep earth? Am I fracking the toilet?
And your leavings tend to shift from being nuggets to being soft serve. It's much more comfortable. You don't blow out an O-ring. It's much more relaxed.
I'm relaxed
Nuggets?
as hell on the toilet.
Yeah, I'm with ya.
I'm smoking a cigarette, chilling. I'm all good. I don't know. I feel like this is some late stage capitalism bullshit to sell me something I don't need.
I mean,
That's what I feel.
Okay,
That's
look,
what I feel like.
Well, I mean,
feel-
most of the Eastern world does squat.
They do.
For squat toilets.
This is absolutely true. I've seen it. This is true.
Here's what I will say: you don't need to get a squatty potty. You could probably
You need a
just get
footstool.
get some books or a footstool.
You just changed
or
my fucking world. Books instead of squatting.
Fucking,
I
you
have
know.
plenty of books.
Get, like a
There's no squatty potty.
12-pack of PBR, put your feet on it. Oh, as long as it's like, as long as it's like 7 inches high.
It's the principle.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it does have like foot like outlines where you're supposed to place your feet. I've never really paid attention to if I'm like if there's like a foot angle that's imperative to this thing. I don't know if there's a ratio to
You just
hip
free
width.
squatting here?
Yeah. So I like my squatty potty, short version.
Yeah, I'm gonna
of the
tell my
story.
girlfriend that. I'm gonna say JB loves squatty potty. She's like, I told you.
You could tell her what I said.
I'll have her listen to this part. We'll go straight to this part of this podcast.
just get
The
some.
first 40 minutes are no bullshit, but
Fuck that. Just right here.
Just get something about 7 inches tall, put your feet on it, and fire away. That's all you gotta know.
I might just try it tomorrow with some books.
There is like a period of adjustment. It doesn't like you just sit and all of a sudden your shits are different. Your body it's gotta grow and adjust and learn, and you'll get there. You'll get there.
All right, I'm willing to
see.
try it.
All right, we'll come back.
not me. I'm comfortable in who I am now.
You know what I feel like
That's
though?
what I like.
feel like I shit more now. I don't know if it's
Volume or frequency?
frequency. I don't know if it is more volume. I don't know if it's even related to the squatty potty, but I feel like since I've gotten the squatty potty, I feel like now I probably shit 3 to 4 times a day.
That's good though, right?
I used to be like a solid 2
Still good.
every day.
I think I'm a solid 3 to 4 already.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm in that ballpark too at least.
I'm morning,
At least.
I'm morning,
Sure.
afternoon, and night for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the Jim Carrey.
I'm shitting. I really don't want to
say
say
I'm there.
already then.
Yeah.
I was
Hold
just
yourself back.
good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
The Walter Cronkite of shitting.
Do you bring
Now
it
that
here?
I'm thinking about it.
You got here to
No. Now that you're saying it, I feel like maybe I can level up our bathrooms
Yeah,
here.
yeah, just leave a couple in the stalls.
Yeah.
I can't
No,
wait
someone's
for
gonna
people-
fucking steal that shit. If I put a
Are they gonna
fucking
be like, what
squatty
the
potty
fuck
there.
is that thing in the bathroom? And then someone's gonna come out right away.
Some guy's gonna come with this coat, all like puffy. Like, did you steal a squatty potty? No.
Maybe it's the placebo effect.
Hashtag Pusebo effect. And on that note, thank you for listening to the Darkside Records podcast. Come out this Saturday.
Yes.
October
14th.
Cassette Store Day. Come support your local independent record store. Check out some cool bands. Get some cool limited edition releases on cassette.
And cassette sales on our used cassettes.
We have an existing cassette section. We're going to have sales on both new and used.
Yeah.
And let us know what you think. We would love to know what you think about Cassette Store Day. We'd love to know what you think about cassettes as a format in general.
They're cool.
You discussion over.
Yeah, done.
You can tweet at us at Darkside Records with a Z at the end, like Nu Metal Darkside Records. You can message us on Facebook. You can post on our timeline. You can use the hashtag Darkside Podcast. But we'd love to know your thoughts. Send us a message. Send us a comment. And if you're listening to this and you enjoy this podcast, please go on iTunes. Go on your favorite podcast server. Give us a good rating. I don't want to tell you to leave us 5 stars, but leave us 5 stars.
Yeah, that's only fair.
It helps us get discovered better and helps us spread out so we can get new listeners and we can get more guests and maybe a sponsorship.
Looking at you, Squatty Potty. Sidebar. Let us know what you think of your Squatty Potty. Pictures preferred.
Challenge accepted.
I know the cover photo for the podcast.
There we go. Thank you for listening. As always, we'll be back next month. We're going to do at least a Black Friday podcast.
At least.
Yeah,
Working on another thing, too.
Indeed. We got a couple things in the pipeline coming out of the Squatty
No, it's a main line now.
Butthole.
Not a pipeline.
Yeah. You strained it out with the potty.
No, that's what happens when you don't have a squatty potty. Is you strain it out.
It's not.
That's the
straightened.
problem.
No, he said straighten.
Straighten or strain?
He's
No,
stuck
straightened.
He's stuck on the strain.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
He's got
sorry.
37
Okay.
years of trauma behind him.
So we'll be back in a month. Thanks for listening. So as always, on behalf of Darkside Records, I'm JB.
I'm JJ.
And I'm TJ. Thanks for having me, guys.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
We still don't have a sign off. Arrivederci, baby. No? You have any suggestions for a sign off?
Nothing better than that.
Hey.
I just want to close everything I ever do with ELO's Strange Magic.
Like we sing it, or you want me to play it?
Yeah,
oh,
but
we should
say,
work
like-
on singing it.
Yeah, we gotta
that
cue
way,
it up, man.
no one would really recognize it, and we wouldn't have to pay some rights, some royalty. Magic. That's where you
smart.
come in.
Oh, I thought you were singing
No.
ELO Strange Magic as Benny and the Jets.
Nope.
Magic!
Magic.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
That's it.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Good. I'm going to the car to talk to you.
Oh, excellent. Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
I can.
Oh, this is amazing. We're living
Can you
in the
hear me?
We're like living in the future right now.
We are.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in the car and it's locked
Oh God.
and I'm safe.
I have a treat for everyone. This episode of the podcast. Should I say that we're friends ahead of time, or should I pretend like we're strangers?
Yes, we're friends.
Okay. So I have the privilege and the honor of welcoming a great friend of mine, Francesca Olsen, onto our podcast.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Surprisingly sweaty for
Yeah, I'm pretty
October.
sweaty too. Yeah, it's hot down here.
Where are you currently?
I'm in Washington, D.C.
Cool. What are you doing in Washington?
Yeah. I'm on tour right now. I'm only on tour for 4 days, and today is day 3, and I'm at the Commune at 1605, which is an anarchist commune about a mile from the White House, and I'm playing a house show.
That is only the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'm so happy. I was like, Mom, guess where? I'm like, we're staying here tonight. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Little 14, 15-year-old Francesca would be like, she would be so stoked about this.
Seriously, 2000s hardcore straight edge vegan PETA DVD giving out JB is still totally stoked for you.
Yeah.
Both him
This is-
and current JB.
It's wonderful. It's so good. Food Not Bombs was there when we got there, and they gave us food, and then they took the rest of the food to the park to feed homeless people. I just love that stuff. So that should be more a part of DIY than it is.
100% agree with you. 100%
Yeah.
agree with you. I actually was reminiscing with someone recently about hardcore shows, maybe in the 2000 to 2004 period, and how it was just very commonplace for bands to, for example, hand out PETA pamphlets or things like that. And I don't know if that still goes on, but it certainly doesn't go on at shows I go to.
Too. I remember always getting indoctrinated by the liberal media at punk shows and hardcore shows.
That is correct.
People used to sell anti-Nazi shirts and stuff. That was great. We should I want that again.
So you're on tour for the next couple days, or I guess you're for one more day.
Yeah, for tomorrow we're going to be in the Philly suburbs at another house. It's been 3 houses and a bar in Brooklyn.
I personally love DIY tours. House show tours are always the best.
Yeah, the best time is at houses. We played yesterday in Maryland at a place called The Void, and 150 people were there.
Holy
and
shit.
it was wild. It was really one of the best shows I've ever had.
Cool. So who are you on tour with?
I am on tour just with my bandmate Joe Adonitis, and we're House Sparrow now instead of just my name, which is good.
Yeah, you were previously just Francesca.
Francesca Shanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get divorced, so I went back to my maiden name. And Joe and I, as a duo, it's really hard to be a duo and just play under one person's name and have it
Totally.
not get weird. So we've been together for a year. We recorded an album in July that's coming out October 20th. That's called Eat Honey, Taste Mud. And we just were like, this is the time to do this if we're ever going to do it. So we did it.
You played, in fact, you played our store a couple months back.
Yeah, that was one of our first shows. That was such a fun time. I would like to come back after the winter is over.
You should. And can I tell you,
Yeah.
I still get people who come in and talk about how you gave out jewels
Oh, we
show?
still do that. We've given out 2 pounds of jewels at this point.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And those are plastic jewels, so they're very light.
Those are plastic jewels, yes.
Yeah.
It's easy to travel with them. People are always like, "Oh, I'm so tickled by this." So that's good. We have a niche market now.
You've got a thing, and it brings people joy, and that's really what is the most important.
Yeah, it brings me joy to be like, "I have jewels for you."
Yeah, I was going to say when you played here last time that, I didn't know if this was an ego trip thing or, how what your contract was like, but, maybe consider a duo name.
Yeah.
I respect you to make your own decisions, and I'm sure you knew what you were doing. Or it was just a total power, dick move. And
no,
you do you.
Joe is so humble, and we're both like, "Oh, I don't care. It's fine." And, but after a while, it's weird because at the beginning of every show, one of us has to be like, "Hi, we're this name, and this is who we are." And if it's one of our names, that's one more thing for the audience to digest before they just watch us. Mm-hmm. And you don't want that. You just want to get up there and play your music and have people connect to you and leave. That's fine.
In fact, I remember really enjoying his contributions to the music.
He has elevated this whole thing. I wouldn't be touring if we weren't a duo. I probably wouldn't be doing good, cool shows like this with just me alone. Can I talk about his refined setup now? We've improved since then. Okay, so he has a kick drum and a kick pedal for one foot, and then with his other foot he's hitting sleigh bells. He wears a foot tambourine and he has sleigh bells on the floor that are balanced on a little drumstick. Mm-hmm. And he hits the sleigh bells with the foot tambourine, and we usually mic that. And he has a bass synth and a microcorg, and he's playing that with both hands.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I just play guitar.
I think you got the good part of this deal. I'm not gonna lie.
I got a tenor guitar. It's from Eastwood,
mm-hmm.
and it's so awesome. I tune it like the ukulele, and it just makes us so much more badass. We have a beautiful dynamic. It is great. It's a good team thing, and it's just the two of us, so we can tour in a car.
Okay, so you have a new record coming out.
I do. It's called Eat Honey, Taste Mud, and it comes out October 20th, and we have a video coming out October 17th. New Noise Magazine is going to premiere it, and I'm really excited. Yeah, it's for the song You'll See Colors, which I guess is the single off of the record. And we shot it ourselves. Joe owns a videography company, so it's easy for us to do this. And our friend Jack Criddle directed it, and it's a story about a very fun barbecue where in a world where animal and man are one and the same. And it's very silly and goofy, and I make out with a llama head in it. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, and where can people find your music?
It will be on Spotify. We have a Bandcamp, housesparrowmusic.bandcamp.com, and you can always go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/House Sparrow Music.
Do you have plans for a physical release?
Yeah, we have CD copies with us now. We ordered a bunch, and you can pre-order them via Bandcamp or the Sounds and Tones Records web store, or come to a show, and I will sell you one for $10.
So tell our listeners what you're all about.
We are we're like a folk band, but loud. We don't sing about love or your common themes. I explore the duality of feeling a lot, how there's joy and then there's happiness, and happiness is a simple emotion you feel when something cool happens, but joy is a double-edged sword. That's, you can't have joy without having experienced great sadness. So I think about that kind of thing a lot, and I explore that in my writing. And I use a lot of nature metaphors. There's a lot of talking about how we're all animals, and it's hard to get back to that, or it's hard to channel that for peacefulness and good use, I guess. And it's just rocking. There's a lot, for two people, we make a big noise, and there's a lot to hear and explore, I think, on this record.
I can't wait to hear it.
Aw, thank you.
Are we going to play a song on this podcast?
Yeah, you can. You should.
Okay. Well, that was part of the agreement we had before we had this conversation. So, yeah, let's go with that. So, what song would you like us to play?
You'll See Colors, probably, just because it's a single.
Okay, so I'm going to play that for you, the listener, in a second. But before we do that, we like to do something on this podcast with our guests, and if it's all right with you, are you okay with doing the Darkside podcast rapid fire lightning round.
Absolutely, I consent.
Okay. Welcome
Okay.
to the lightning round. Yeah, that's where sound effects will be. Hang on, I'll do it again with the sound effects. Lightning round. What?
Okay.
What was that? Was that the air horn?
Yeah, that was the air horn.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to fire a bunch of rapid fire questions at you. No
Okay.
thinking, just gut instinct reactions.
I never think.
Okay,
Okay.
that's terrible. Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Michael, Janet, or LaToya?
Janet.
Red or blue pill?
Oh, blue.
Elvis Presley or Elvis Costello?
Elvis Costello.
Yeah, good choice. Tarantino or pet tarantulas?
Tarantino.
And one final winner-take-all question.
Okay.
Dr. Dre's The Chronic or The Chronicles of Narnia? And why?
The Chronicles of Narnia, because simple childhood nostalgia means a lot. And I just don't have that for Dr. Dre's The Chronic.
All right, you passed the lightning round.
Thank you.
Lightning round. Okay, well, Francesca, thank you for being on our podcast.
Thank you, John, for having me. And I'm so happy to talk to you. a little bit.
Likewise. And is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I think just if you could like our band on Facebook, that would be super cool. You can look up House Sparrow, and we're right there. It helps us get better shows to have many Facebook likes. So if you feel like doing one really stupid good deed today, go do that.
Okay, well, thank you for being on the podcast.
I'm going to go play my show now.
All right, see you later.
All right, bye.
Bye.
You'll see colors, you'll see yellows and greens. The aperture closes, but you will not take it with grace. The blackness will slap you with its mouth. I'm no longer afraid of the light in my face, of the light in my face. I spent years trying to remember what it said about kindness. You'll spend hours punching air in a room full of ghosts. The door slams closed, the door slams closed, but you will not take it with clenched teeth. You'll wake up, roll over, take 10 deep breaths. You'll leave it in the bed with your lover. You'll have to hang it over him. And your lungs, they'll be crushed under the weight of all the water rushing down on your tongue as you're trying to remember all those faces, all those friends who held your hand, all those warm, dry moments you have spent. And you'll watch as the sun slides down across a pond somewhere, alone in your heart with the world sound raining down on you. Alone in your heart with the world sound raining down on you. Raining down on you.
That is the Cantina song.